Well, I think we're in the moment of a great transformation. I think that we are in a disruption where the future needs to look very different than the past. And the new normal needs to be one that's much kinder, much more sustainable, and I would say much better. But that's going to take a lot of work. The climate change is happening now, biodiversity loss is happening now, and COVID is happening now. And it's not just because we have a COVID crisis that climate stops. And the good news, because there is good news, is that there is an opening here to do these things together. When are we going to have this much money potentially going in? And when do we have the chance to really take a look at the system we're all living in, the economic system, the social system, to say, whoa, this doesn't really work very well? It's quite clear that this crisis is showing the volatility of that market. It was quite clear before the COVID crisis that we have too much oil already out there and we need to move away, and that if you're looking for less risky, smart investments, oil is not the way to go. So clearly there should be no bailout money going into these industries that are extracting fossil fuels, or industrial agriculture is another one. I mean, I think we're learning from this crisis that we need radical approaches to really radical crises. So, and we know what to do on the policy side on climate change. The scientists have been telling us that for decades. So I think what's more needed are, yes, you need governmental leadership. You do need leadership from the government to move forward on tackling climate change. The European Union has a chance right now to do that, depending on how it, and that's the thing about responding to COVID and having the climate emergency in mind as you're going down that pathway is absolutely fundamental. Chancellor Merkel has even said that. We'll see what she does with her car companies and, the other choices that are here in Germany. But I think we're beyond actually just, sure, there's the policy mechanisms, but we need to say no more expansion or exploitation of fossil fuels. We need to say that the internal combustion engine is ending. We need to say, and governments then need to put in those policies, but based on science that need to drive us forward. We know the policies. It's really more about the politics. The International Energy Agency is talking about renewables being the source and the way to be going. And it's clear that job creation there is huge in these branches. So, and I think the crisis is actually showing the smartness of renewable energy versus investing or bailing out, for God forbid, volatile oil, right? So then if you come to this question of no one paid attention, well, I think it's really important that people understand that there was a deliberate campaign by the fossil fuel industry to draw attention away and put in doubt. Lots of science documentation, investigation on this. And if you look in the 70s, you see that happening from the Koch brothers. You see what happened moving into a neoliberal economy. You see the short-termism, and you see the doubt that's brought forward on climate science. We're in the showdown now. We're in the showdown now. And I think the thing that I noted at the beginning of 2020 was that you saw investors starting to ask the questions of investing in oil. You saw moving away from coal. You saw that all moving. You saw people in the streets. So the showdown is now. People are dying now from climate change impacts. And so it's, if you're sitting in the north and you will still feel it if you're a farmer sitting in Germany. The droughts are real, but if you're sitting in Mozambique or you're sitting in places that are experiencing these events now, it's now.